Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
Good morning, my friends. Good morning. Welcome back to great week of Breakthrough with Coach Lou. It is Friday. If you're watching live, if you're listening on a replay, it may be a different day. This morning, I have a special dedication of our show, as well as I would like to take a moment of prayer, of love, however you term that. Our son-in-law, Ben, this week, who's a deputy in Flagler County, was injured in a motorcycle wreck on Interstate 95, responding to a call, doing what he does and loves best, and that is helping others. He is pretty seriously injured, but he is on the mend, still in the hospital. If y'all could keep him in your thoughts and prayers, please. We know and have faith he will make a full recovery. It's just going to be a rough road on him, so the more prayers and love that can get sent his way, I would definitely appreciate that if we can just take a couple of seconds. All right, thank each and every one of you, because I know your hearts are in the right place if you're on this show, and we are ready to rock the morning. It is Friday, guys, and you might be saying, hey, hold on a second here, Coach. We started out Monday, and what did we talk about on Monday? We talked about the things that stop people, the things that could hold you back, the missing links, and those are the lack of clarity, the lack of decision, the lack of action, or the lack of belief, right? We don't want your ideas to die. You got to get them out of your head and on paper or on your key to success planner, whatever it is, in your voice notes, so that you don't keep it, that flighting thought, that flighting idea. As a matter of fact, I have to write something down here that I thought of this morning in the shower. Just something that's not functioning properly in our bathroom. And I'm like, oh, how's that going to be an easy fix? And I was like, oh, I got it. But you know what? Until I said that to you this morning, I did not write it down because I was in the shower. I did not put it on my voice notes. And I was like, ooh, I almost forgot that. If I had not reviewed what we covered Monday, I would have lost that thought, and we would have never made life one step easier. What a concept, huh? So then on Wednesday, guys, I wasn't going to be on the show. I tried. It was extremely tired. It was a rough Tuesday. And we, and I tried to fire off the show on a last minute deal, and I had nothing but tech issues. And I was like, this is just a sign, period. Sometimes you got to take a step back, take a deep breath, put on your glasses, these magic glasses, and figure out, what is my vision again? Was my vision to make sure you had a show on Wednesday morning, or was my vision to deliver the best I could with the doubleheader show today on Friday? And I was like, you know what? We're going to do the better for what my purpose is. My purpose is to deliver to you, not to make sure I didn't miss a day. And in the grand scheme of what had occurred this week, missing a day was minute compared to, making sure that Ben's okay and our daughter Lexi's okay. And, that was more, I'm not going to say, yeah, it was more important. I am going to say it. So, but the thing is we're here now and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so the vision. What if you had this magic pair of glasses that only showed you the things you needed to succeed at something? What if you went into a deal, and you went into this new project you want to do, and you were like overwhelmed. There's so many options. There's this, that, oh my God, what am I? Boom, filtered all the BS out, and all of a sudden you just see exactly, without distraction, and it had a little built-in GPS that mapped it out how to get there. You just go, beep, what's the next step? What would your world look like? How different would it look? It would be amazing to be able to just weed out the things that are not going to get you to your outcome, number one. Number two, weed out the fog of uncertainty, weed out the fog of distraction, and let you get down to it. So how much faster could you succeed every day? Okay? How much faster could you succeed if each and every day you woke up, we all wake up a little foggy. Thank God I wake up without the alarm clock most mornings. I set it this morning to make sure, but I was still up 15 minutes before it would have gone off. But when I wake up, I'm a little foggy. I walk in circles a couple of times. I have my celery juice, do a little bit of yoga, get prepped to go in the cold plunge, take a shower, have a coffee, eat, depending on the morning. Some mornings eating comes after things like the shows. It just depends. There's some things that can be flexible and there's others that aren't. But what if the minute I put my glasses on, it was like, boom, I didn't walk in circles 3 times around the kitchen trying to figure out that I'm supposed to drink celery juice first, and had out the cup and the glass and the ready. And I did. And I had, my coffee cup and everything set out because I do, focus on some routines, especially that morning routine. I got something coming up down the pipe for you. It's going to be exciting too. So, all right, your world looks so much different. You put on this magic pair of glasses that clears out all the fog, all the BS, all the overwhelm, and just focuses you on your target. Okay? So how much are these glasses, Coach? I want them. Me too. Trust me. I want them. Stop. You can't buy them. Okay? They're not for sale. The fact is, you already own these glasses. They're not a physical pair of glasses. I happen to have these on because they're good computer glasses. You own it. It's called focus. You already have this within you, guys. You already have the focus within you to get this clear vision. Okay, this isn't something that you have to pay for hours of coaching or, read 100 books. Just clean up your focus, okay? And there's nothing wrong with hours of coaching. There's nothing wrong with reading books. I absolutely recommend both. However, this focus is already in you. You just have to harness it. Life Boost Coffee doesn't hurt to get that fog off the day too. All right, so how do you get this clear vision? Don't forget, today's show is our doubleheader finale of the week, guys. This is covering for Wednesday and Friday, which is today, if you are on with us live. If you're not, you're watching this a different day, you might go, Coach, you don't know your days. Well, some days we do, some days we don't. So you already have this focus and this clear vision, right? So how do you get to the really clear vision? How do you put this focus to work is the question. Here's your training part this morning, guys. This is the part where you learn, okay? Do what I didn't do this morning. As my dad used to say, do as I say, not as I do. Well, I did it. I've told you, right? The idea down immediately when it hits. Number one, write it down. Put it in voice notes. Put it somewhere. Put it in your key to success planner. Okay? Write it down. Get it out of your head and down somewhere where it's, on my desk buddy over here where I can write on my desk. How cool. How cool is that? I can write on my desk with magic markers. How cool is that to be like a little kid again? The good thing is if I write on Desk Buddy, they're dry erase and it's also stores stuff below it, which is also not a bad thing to keep your desk organized. We're going to learn more about all those kind of little tips and tricks too, guys, because there's so many little hacks that can make your life so much better. That's what I'm here to deliver to you. Okay, so get it out of your head and get it on paper, get it on a Desk Buddy, get it in a voice note, get it in your key to success planner, do it however you do it, but get it out of the head and down on paper. Okay, this is the first part of your clear vision. Number two, you got to clarify that idea. All right, so I'm going to share it with you, and this was not an intentional. I'm going to tell the story of this. So that when I was telling you this morning, I got this really great idea while I was in the shower because we're having a bathroom problem. Our tub, somehow the thing that has the plug thing in the bottom has broken. It doesn't work. It sticks shut, and especially when the tub is full, very hard to drain. I mean, you got to try to get in there with a butter knife and chop your fingers off and everything. And I was like, wait a minute, if I had something in there that wouldn't have standing water, etc., that I could just, and I'm like, Lou, coach, fishing line, because you can tie it around there and there can be a little loop on each side for now until we get this fixed, instead of trying to pry it with a knife and taking the chance of cutting yourself or breaking something more. And the other thing is it won't be stuck open or closed. It'll close fine. And when it needs to open, fishing line. So I had to clarify the idea. So once you write down the idea, what at first it was like one piece of fishing line. No, 2 loops. You can grab it like that. Boom, smooth. Clarify your idea. I know this is a stupid, simple example of this, but sometimes simple is the best, because after all, I am your simplicity coach. I take what should be overwhelming and too big and chunk it down and get it simplified. Okay? Then number 3 is immediately take some actions on creating your plan and taking your first steps. In that case, my number 1 step is I got to get some fishing line. Number 2, I got to actually implement it and do it. Okay, but there's, in that goofy example, which wouldn't have been the example I was necessarily going to share with you this morning, but I was like, that's a nice simple one. And it's something that, number 1, I almost forgot. I almost broke the first cardinal rule. I didn't write it down or record it. Number 2, I didn't really clarify it until I was talking to you guys this morning. I'm like, okay, there's a way to do this. That's called ADD brain. I can be doing 2 things at once. And funny thing is people are always like, don't multitask. Some people are like, you got to multitask in life, and other people are like, multitask is the killer of production. I don't say multitask. I can't be typing over here, talking to you, answering a text, or anything else while I'm doing the show for you, okay? That's multitasking. Multi-accomplishment's a different story. This morning when I got up, I immediately hit my software and broadcast our auction preview video for tonight. And it's broadcasting live all over all the channels while I am doing the cold plunge and yoga and everything else. Now this is live. This is something that's got to be live. Our walkthrough preview video for the auction does not have to be me sitting here going, look at that, guys. See, I'm narrating this. It's all done. It's pre-produced. Okay, but that is multi-accomplishment because it doesn't take any more time. It doesn't take away from my focus of what I'm doing. Do you see where there's a difference of multitasking and multi-accomplishment? Pretty cool. Sometimes you got to understand it's not one or the other. It is a way of doing things. It's a workflow. And that's basically what it is. I think I just had a revelation myself. It is a workflow. Everything in life is a workflow. Okay. Now I'm starting to give you a little of my techie nerdy side. Workflow, mind maps. But isn't that the truth? If what you needed to do each day was mapped out in a visual way, or if you're auditory, if you could talk it over with somebody and figure it out prior to starting, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if each day you had your day truly mapped out? Map, as in massive action plan that we've talked about before? Is this all starting to make sense? Is this all starting to come around and make sense to you guys? It is not that hard to succeed. Okay, it's great to be successful. It is not that difficult to actually succeed. Wow, very smooth morning on tech and everything else. I am just juiced up. Again, we've had some things, and we also have some other friends and customers that are facing some major surgeries and health challenges right now, and keep them in your prayers too. This has been a difficult week. I can look at it with gratitude now because of the fact that we're on the other side of, like Ben's accident. He's doing better. It's still going to be a long road. But today just seemed to open up. It started last night where something great happened at the office. And it was like, okay, great. We can breathe. But you know what that really is? That's a perception. Okay? Even though we've had tragic stuff this week, there's always something you can look at and go, number one, what can we be grateful for in this situation? And number 2, there's always the worst case scenario that could have been worse, no matter what. Okay? So whenever you're facing something, when you feel that overwhelm, when your glasses are off and you're going, my God, I just can't dig out of this. I can't catch a break. Put them on and go, what's really going on? Oh, okay, now that we took all the cobwebs and fog out, all right, I see where we're going. I see what we need to do here. I see. Then the idea hits, you write it down, you clarify it, what exactly is this, and you take your immediate steps and you make a plan, and you take action right away. It's that simple. Does this sound familiar to you? Kind of like mass action plans, the success formulas, how to get there, how to get from point A to point B, where you're going. All this stuff is, what we're teaching today is not necessarily brand new to you, especially if you've been on with me for quite a while. It's just different scenarios and areas of life and how you're going to use it. Okay? Remember Monday we talked about the keys to success. Key to Success journal, or not journal, Key to Success planner. See, my coffee isn't fully kicked in yet, guys. I am human too. All right, so we talked about that. And what that is it's a digital planning system. And that sounds so overwhelming. What it is it's a calendar on your iPad or whatever pad you use, if you use the Androids. Just kidding, guys. I'm an Apple fan for some products, and I'm a PC fan and an Android for others. It just depends what you are doing. Let's end that fight in our community out here once and for all. Apple's great, and so is Microsoft, and they both suck in certain ways, and that's just going to be the way it is. So maybe sometimes you use 2 different products. You use both, and it fills in the cracks in each one of them. Anyway, the Key to Success planner. See, the thing is, I can type into it on my computer, and it shows on my phone, on my pad. I can write on it on my pad. I can highlight. I can draw diagrams. I can add pages. God, I got to do a training on that itself, guys, because it is so cool. Now, you can use another PDF annotation app. Is basically what it is, where you have the PDF overlays and your calendar's there. But there's so many different planning tools that are part of it, and ways to organize, and it fits with what we do, with your time blocks and everything else, and being able to highlight and draw and move stuff around and put pictures in there if you need to, and links and oh my God. And then people are like, well, I use Google Calendar. So do I, for your basic appointment setting times or what you got to do. But Google Calendar, you can't draw mind maps on it. Google Calendar, you can't keep track of stuff. You can't go multi-day. It's just simply, then people go, well, the key to Success planner, it doesn't really, you don't put it in there and it automatically goes in Google Calendar. You are correct. But you can put a link in there and it can interact. Trust me. Get some sort of planning system set up for yourself. If you want to shortcut it, Key to Success is great. The cost is minimal. I am an affiliate, so I will get a small commission, which helps me keep this show going for you guys. But seriously, so please use my links. But the Key to Success is absolutely amazing because it's all under one hood. You open up the hood and you're there. You don't have to, if you got to make a repair in your car, you don't need to go to 12 different cars to do it. It's one place. Get all your stuff in one place. Now, you might even use a paper planner. That's okay too. I love Key to Success because it's like a paper planner that actually goes everywhere, so that if you forget your planner, you're not screwed. I have had so many friends and business associates and folks I have coached who rely on a paper planner, and I'm like, so when are we going to do this or that? I forgot my planner. What? We all have done it. Okay, we've all forgot our planner. We've all forgot our phones, all this stuff. But if you could go, hey, all right, cool. Can I log into your computer real quick? And you log into your OneNote, and there it is. See, this is about making your life easier all the way around. Okay, so I would normally be telling you at this point, go out there and get an idea, write it down, clarify it, and immediately take action and start taking your first steps. Okay, and then I would tell you, live with faith, energy, passion, always live your dreams. We'd have a prologue, telling you all about Accelerate Life and stepping up. And then we would meet again in 2 days. Okay, so our next lesson's Accelerate Go. So we're not going to put it in park. We're not going to shut it off. We're not going to start over. We're going to accelerate and go. You get double this morning, guys. Isn't this awesome? You get me twice over this morning. So let's get ready to rumble, rock, and do some business. Let me know in the chats what's resonating with you guys. Let's have an amazing show. Welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou. Yes, I'm welcoming you back. All right, today we're going to accelerate, go. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt that you needed to do something but simply continue to fail to start? Okay, I need to do X, and you know you need to do it, and you got it on your schedule today, and it doesn't get done. Why is that? You might say, because something happened. Okay, you might say, because I ran out of time. And then maybe you'll try it again tomorrow and you still fail to start it. Usually it's a project like doing your taxes or something that isn't, jump up and down, joyous, I'm ready to do this. Usually this is something that you have some negative attached to. But I'm going to ask you again, have you ever felt that you needed to do something or have needed to do something, but you simply continue to fail to start? Okay, number one, I'm going to tell you you're not alone on that one, which is good. Number two, we're going to bust through that today, which is even better. Okay, have you ever felt you needed to make a decision and you keep putting it off until like one day before you needed to, or you're right up against the wall, or you decided that maybe you feel like you took a weight off your shoulders once you decided and did it? Have you ever had that decision? I'm going to ask you again. Have you ever had that decision that, oh my God, I don't know if I should, I shouldn't, I should. And then you just say, F it and do it. And you go, oh my God, why didn't I make this decision earlier? The point of making the decision oftentimes is the part that actually makes you go, whew, now the hard part's over. Get to work. So let's talk about making a decision today. Okay? The minute you break through that wall, and that is making the decision, okay? Decision comes from the Latin root word, oh my God. Okay, well, it comes from Latin root, which means cut off from. I forget the exact Latin word, okay? It's been a rough week, kids, come on. So my whole point, though, is decision means a cut off from any other possibility, okay? So today is all about making the decision. So don't forget, Monday we learned that most ideas fall by the wayside because of a lack of belief. Most ideas that you have, the greatest ideas, don't even get started because you lack the belief. Remember Henry Ford, if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. Well, let's err on the side of think you can. Is it a guarantee? I think I can. Okay, well, that's good. Now you got to take action. I can't do that. I could never do that. Well, shit, you're never going to do it. Okay? That's a guarantee you're not going to succeed if you tell yourself you're not going to. Okay? Now, earlier today, which would have been Wednesday, we learned about getting a clear vision for what you want. Imagine putting on those imaginary glasses that filter out all the unnecessary BS. By the way, I think you might be thinking, BS is one thing. It means belief system. So this basically filters out negative belief system of I can't, I won't, I'm not X enough, all that. This filters it out. Today we build some decision-making muscle. Okay, decision-making muscle. This sounds silly. You're like, where does that come from? Your brain, your mouth, or it's like building any other muscle. The more you do it, the more you hone it, the stronger it's going to get. If you want stronger calves and you go, well, I know I should do calf raises, and you don't, you're not going to get stronger calves. If you start doing calf raises and maybe some running and some other exercises that exercise the calves, they are going to get stronger, larger, depending on what type of exercise you're doing. And that's a discussion for a different day. But until you exercise that muscle, what about a bicep? You want a big bicep? You got to exercise it. Okay? I'm going to pull the surgery card. And back in January, I had the dang surgery, and, my biceps aren't as big as they were. I'm not quite as solid as I was because I've been told, don't lift this, don't do that, don't do. The belly got a little bigger and the biceps got a little tinier, and I don't like it, okay? But the fact is I got to exercise it, and I'm finally at the part where I'm getting back gently into exercise. Gently, I ran for like a tenth of a mile yesterday. I've been just walking because of the incisions and stuff. But it's like I actually got a little baby run in. Didn't feel super comfortable. I'm like, ooh, you better be ready for April's race, man. But it's like, all right, tenth of a mile, maybe next time 2/10 of a mile, and the rest a brisk walk. It's exercising and building is what you do with your decision-making muscle. Okay. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Yeah, that's the way it is. All right, so I got a story for you. It's not a loose story, so I'm going to save you that. I got a couple of them that are going to give you some really grand examples. So General Schwarzkopf, or maybe some random general, for years and years, he was private at the time, and he was working under this general. And long story short, he was provided this brief that was like this thick on this issue that they haven't made a decision on. And I don't remember, I'm paraphrasing, 5 or 8 years. It doesn't matter. There was years and nobody got off their asses and made a decision. So, he gives it to a general. They go in the next morning. He's like, he didn't have a chance to read that. They have the meeting. General goes, this is my decision. This is what we will do. And everybody's like, wow, this is cool. Nobody's made a decision in 8 years. Everybody leaves the room, and the private at the time goes up and says, sir, permission to speak freely. Yes, go ahead. How did you possibly make a decision? I know there's no way that, I didn't even get through it to brief you. I know there's no way you read that document last night. And he goes, young man, let me tell you something. He said, for the last 8 years, something has had to happen and nothing has happened. By making a decision, which nobody seemed willing to do up until this point, we now will have a course of action which will prove either my decision was right or my decision was wrong and we can adjust. But until we took action upon this and made a decision, we would still be another 8 years going back and forth trying to make a decision. What an impact, considering Schwarzkopf became quite the general himself. That was an impactful moment for him. How about for you? What are the decisions you need to make? And I'm not going to tell you just because you make a decision, hey, I want to make a decision, I want to win the lotto. That's a great decision. It would be very nice if you know how you'd put the money to work for you. But you may not be having the right strategy, okay? What is the old overused one? The sunset. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to run to see a sunset. But if you're headed east, that's not going to work. Okay? My whole point is, until you make a decision, you don't know. And until you take action, you don't know. You can sit there on the fence all you want with this decision and go, well, it could go this way. It could go this way. Well, you're not going to know which way it's going to go till you make the decision and go forward. And you're like, Coach, what if I'm wrong? This is important stuff. Then you adjust it. You create whatever you need to. But if you don't make the decision in the first place, there is no action. There is no path. There is no adjusting because the decision hasn't been made. What is that decision that you need to make today? What is your decision you need to make today to take it to the next level? Hey, you know what I'm going to tell you about Joe, Jose, and Jeff and Apple stock. Okay. Joe was all in when Apple was down and starting out, and it didn't look like they were doing. He's like, I see the vision here. I'm in. He invested a ton. He jumped on it. Jose was like, I see it. I'm going to be a little more cautious, but man, if I don't make a decision and take advantage of it here, I could find that it wasn't the right decision. I feel it is. Make a decision. Jose bought in. Joe put in $100,000. Jose put in, $1,000 into Apple stock. And Jeff, they're all buddies. He's watching going, Joe's a little crazy here. I don't know if I would do that. Jose, man, you should have waited and see. Let's look and see. Well, forward 10 years, Joe's a multimillionaire. Jose's got himself a nice little profit. What does Jeff have? Regret. R-E-G-R-E-T. Regret. Why? Joe made a decision, a strong decision. Jose made a more conservative decision. Okay, now if that stock had tanked, Joe could have been the one going, oops. Jose could have been the one going, well, good thing I didn't do more than that. And Jeff could have been the one saying, see, I told you suckers that. Okay, I'm not saying that the decision would be right or wrong, but I'm saying in that case, Joe's a multimillionaire. Jose's got himself a nice little chunk of profit. Jeff's got a big old goose egg and regret. Okay? Who do you want to be? Joe, Jose, or Jeff? Who are you going to be in life? Are you going to make some decisions? Are you going to take some actions? Are you going to occasionally take a little bit of risk? Risk is where the rewards are. You want to be safe? Lock yourself in a jail cell. As long as it locks. I'm not saying jail's safe. But that's basically what too much certainty and safety does. It boxes you in a little jail cell, y'all. You've got to take and make decisions. You've got to take some calculated risks. I'm not saying go out there and be stupid. You're going to make mistakes. If you never make a mistake, you are not working at your maximum at anything. Back in the days I was in the car industry, in the car business, I used to say if I never made a mistake on a car here and there and lost money, I'm not maximizing, because you made more of your real profits and your real wins on the things that could have been a bad decision, on the ones, a snap decision. Usually are the ones that were profitable, the ones I sat there and think about for 10 hours, were the ones that didn't do so well. And once in a while, I totally screwed up. But if you totally screw up 10% of the time and you're winning 90, that 10% is a speed bump. Wow. Think about that. So, would you like, let me know. Tell me now. Would you like 5 steps to make a decision, to take action? It's a simple 5-step process. Okay? Super easy. You ready for it? Let's do it. All right. So number 1, you're going to define clearly what you want. This sounds familiar, doesn't it? Have a clear target. Number 2, you're going to define and go, what is my strong why? Why do I want this? Why do I want this particular amount of money, this particular home, this particular relationship? What is your why? Because that'll drive you when the going gets tough. That's going to keep you going. Okay? Number 3, list all the pros and cons. List them out, one on one side, one on the other. Mitigate that. Are there a lot more pros than cons? Are the pros way more compelling than we could run into this? Or are the cons horribly overwhelming that chances are you're going to die in the process? That might not be the best decision. Number 4, decide whether you're willing to put in the work and what you're willing to say no to or let go of. That's as equally what you're willing to do. What you're willing to no longer do or say no to is equally or sometimes even more important. Guys, I apologize for sounding stuffy this morning. We're in springtime. And it is one of those years where the allergies are coming at me a little bit. So if I look like the raccoon going, oh, my nose is itching. And yes, it is itching. So are the eyes, by the way. So I'm glad I have these glasses that help reduce the eye itching. Not really, but the eye drops help. So seriously, okay, now what are you willing to do, or what are you willing to say no to or let go of? Equally as important. Get that in your head. I said it 3 times for a reason. Number 5, count back. We're using the 5-second rule coined by Mel Robbins. As a matter of fact, get her book. It's amazing. I'll leave a link for that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make the decision. Take an immediate action. Set it in stone and go. Okay? I'm not going to tell you that you are just always going to be on the right. Okay? You're not always in the perfect spot. You don't always make the right decision. But when you make a decision and take action, then you can go, this is really working or this is not working. Okay? Then you adjust. But until you do it, and there's one more deep piece of wisdom I'm going to share with you. And this, it's so funny because I remember so much. There was, it said that those who are fast to make a decision and slow to change their mind are the successful. The people that are slow to make a decision and fast to change their mind are the ones that are not as successful. Can't say they're not successful, but not as. And I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. I thought you'd really have to focus on something and think about it, when I was younger. There was a business I was contracted with, and I don't want to pick on them because actually the owner's no longer with us. But they had a manager that was a fast to make a decision and slow to change his course of what he decided upon. And he was really good. So this business owner had a son. And he replaced this manager with this son. The son would hem and haw and then decide on something. And then 2 minutes later, he'd be like, no, we're going to do it this way instead. And it's like, dude, you didn't even get a chance. Or if you brought an idea into them and said, hey, what do you think of this? Oh, yeah, okay, let's try it. No, that didn't work. We didn't even give it a day. But it was so the difference of watching how that business flourished under the one manager as opposed to when the owner put his son in there who had the opposite idea. Wasn't a bad guy either way. Neither one of them were bad, but it was a noticeable difference in the amount of business they did, the confidence from their customers. My tolerance for dealing with them was different because, remember, fast to make a decision, slow to change your course. Stick with it. When you decide on something, stick with it unless it's blatantly obvious that it's not working, then you adjust. Don't sit there and hem and haw forever to make a decision, because by the time you do, you could have been miles ahead. And then if you make a decision and it doesn't seem to work in the very first day, which most everything doesn't, don't change your course until you go, hey, I've got living proof here of what works and what doesn't. How's that sound? All right, guys. Now, thanks for hanging out with me on the Doubleheader Show here this morning on Breakthrough with Lou, because we adjusted our week and you still got everything I wanted to bring you. Okay. So next week, we are going to really step it up. This is something. All right. So yes, I have something great for you next week. It's called the Accelerator. We're going to show you how to accelerate your processes on this, how to really, really, really push forward in how to take this decision and then put it in gear. Okay, you can sit in a car and decide I'm going to drive, and then you can put it in gear and you can go 5 miles an hour. Now, you might be somewhere where 5 miles an hour is the only safe speed you can go. But you don't want to get on the interstate of life and go 5 miles an hour. You're going to have to hit that accelerator, folks. And you're going to have to accelerate quickly in some cases. You're getting on that on-ramp and you get on a highway or a freeway at 5 miles an hour, you're going to get squished. Okay, we're going to teach you how to accelerate this stuff. All right, guys, live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lou. I'm going to be signing off for the morning here. We're going to have an amazing, amazing weekend. Let's finish this Friday out with a bang. I'll see you guys on the next roundabout.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.
Hang on, I'm back. Okay, so guys, I have had a lot of folks talking to me with stress levels, etc., the way they've been. This is just some little bonus I want to share with you. And they're going, I'm having trouble sleeping, Coach. Tried everything, and we're going to do some shows again on that because sleep is a big issue. But I have found something that I absolutely love to help sleep. It's called magnesium glycinate. Actually, I can't take 100% credit. I found out about it. My chiropractor was like, hey, you need to be taking this magnesium glycinate. Now, I was immediately like, instead of being up every hour and a half, with a quick wake up, etc., next thing you know, I'm sleeping 3-hour stints, sometimes 4-hour stints without waking up. And I'm like, wow, this stuff's really great. And it's not a drug. So if you're having trouble sleeping, and always talk to your doctor about this stuff. I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I'm not a medical doctor. This isn't to cure or to prevent any diseases or anything. But I've had really good luck with the Life Extensions magnesium glycinate. I'm going to leave you a link for that as well. Talk to your doctor and see if that could work for you. But, it's a whole lot better than if you have to take sleep aids or anything else. Or it's a whole lot better than losing a night's sleep. So look for the link below in the post on that as well. And now for real, I am going to tell you, live with faith, energy, passion, always live your dreams. I will see you on the next roundabout. Have an absolutely amazing day, guys.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.